Hey everyone, sorry about that, it was being a bit slow picking up the recording then. This is my WWE Summerslam 2021 predictions. Well, I was going to say it's going to be a very good show, but with what's just happened on AEW Rampage with the return of CM Punk, I'm very worried to how the crowd is going to react. There might be a few CM Punk chants, I don't know, but I have a feeling that regardless, it's going to be a really good show. There are 10 matches on the night that I'll go over and I'll give you my predictions. So, first one, Nikki Ash, or ASH, almost a superhero, defends her Raw Women's Championship against Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley. So, since the last pay-per-view, Charlotte and Rhea had a rematch the following night on Raw, which then led to a disqualification, and then Nikki cashed in on Charlotte to win the title. They've been on a series of matches. Nikki's done alright, like she's lost a couple of times. Charlotte's been booked strong like always. I've actually gone for Nikki to win. I have a feeling it's going to be one of those ones where she like steals a victory. So like Rhea probably hits the Riptide, and then as she gets back up, Nikki hits a crossbody, and then that's how she wins. Next match, Roman Reigns versus John Cena in the singles match for the WWE Universal Championship. This would probably be the one that there's one of three matches I'm very intrigued for, and this is one of them. So John Cena came back at Money in the Bank, which was great to see. He got a massive reaction in a good way. He's been showing up pretty much every week. There's been a couple of Smackdowns where he hasn't showed up, but they've been having a war of words. It's been really good, using like insider terms, and it just feels like a very like genuine promo. It doesn't feel like a bullet point one that they just go with. The whole thing is Cena saying, oh, you're still that same Roman from before. You've got this new ego about you that, all it's going to take is a little mistake, and 1, 2, 3, I beat you, and I break the record for the 17-time world champion. Roman's just going, it's just the same John Cena as before. It's the one from 2005. He comes out, he says stuff, he's all hyped up, but, that's all he is. It's the same thing, I'll make sure that SummerSlam he acknowledges me. I've got Roman to win this one. I feel like this will literally be I feel like it'll go a good half an hour. I'd say if it was to get a star rating, it'd be like 4.5. Either it goes half an hour, or it's similar to Brock versus Cena, where Roman just decimates Cena for like 15 minutes and then just puts him out of his misery. Yeah, I've got Roman to retain this one. Like the whole thing from 4 years ago where it was Cena pretty much just completely dominated Roman in promo sense, but then Roman won the match. Unfortunately, it was the peak, everyone hating Roman, so it didn't really work, whereas this one might actually be a bit more beneficial. Next, we have Bobby Lashley versus Goldberg for the WWE Championship. Bobby Lashley was very dominant against Kofi at Money in the Bank. Keith Lee then returned on Raw in a sort of open challenge, which Bobby won. Then Goldberg came back and basically said that he was next. And they've sort of been wedging Goldberg's son into the angle. So I have a feeling he might play into the end. Like MVP might go after him, and then Goldberg would be distracted. Then Bobby Lashley hit the spear on him and win that way. So yeah, I've got Bobby Lashley to retain. If Bobby Lashley doesn't retain and Goldberg does win, I think it's going to lead to a Big E cash-in. But like I said, I've got Bobby Lashley to win this one. Next, we have the Usos versus the Mysterios in a tag team match for the Smackdown Tag Team Championship. Now, this happened at Money in the Bank, where the Usos won. The whole story they've got going into this one is Rey and Dominic are sort of having like little arguments about Dom not being fully aware of his surroundings, like not focusing when at the right time. Sometimes it's cost them the match, sometimes it hasn't. So this may lead to a little breakup. I've got the Usos to win because of a miscommunication between the two. I think Dom will get sick of Rey and he won't attack him, he'll just walk off. Just thinking that Rey's the one that's messed up this time. Then we have Bianca Belair versus Sasha Banks for the SmackDown Women's Championship. It's a rematch of WrestleMania. Sasha Banks came back a few weeks ago to help Bianca, and then by the end of the night she turned on her. Pretty much not it was an extended version of what they did with Natalya when Sasha came back a few years ago. Was she came back, hugged Natalya, and then immediately attacked her. This has sort of been Sasha saying that Bianca's not better than her, despite the fact that Bianca did beat her at WrestleMania. But then Bianca's sort of like, well, I'm not going to be the nice girl anymore. I'm going to be the meanest. I'm going to be the toughest. I'm going to be the baddest. So, yeah, we've got this rematch. I've got Bianca to win. I feel that they could lead to Zelina getting a title shot down the line, because that's sort of been her thing at the moment. If Sasha were to win, I feel like down the line maybe Survivor Series Liv Morgan will get a go, because they were slowly building her up towards Money in the Bank. Whether they go back to that, I don't know. Like I said, I've got Bianca Belair to retain. Next, Edge versus Seth Rollins. This is the second match I'm very intrigued for. There's been a great story with this one. It goes back to 2014, where Edge sort of paid a visit to Raw with Christian. This was whilst the Authority was out of power, and then to get Cena to bring them back, Seth almost curb stomped Edge onto his medically repaired neck. Basically it's sort of like, oh, if you don't bring them back, I'll curb stomp him and he'll have to be in a wheelchair for the rest of his life. And that's sort of what it stemmed from. And then Edge has been they've been trying to out mind game each other, and Edge is sort of it's like, you do realise it's like you're obsessed with me, because it's like, I eliminated you from the 2020 Royal Rumble, and then I eliminated you from the 2021 Royal Rumble. So, that's why you keep coming after me. And, you didn't get the job done in 2014, and it bugs you. And that's why you feel like you have to do this. But guess what? You're not going to do it. It's been great promos between the two of these people, and I know they're going to have an amazing match together. I've got Edge to win. I feel like Edge needs to win somewhere. The last few times he's come back, he hasn't won. I know he won the Rumble this year, but he didn't win at WrestleMania. I think there might have been a match before that where he didn't win either. I can't remember which one it was. But then it's like, he's had a couple of times where he's not won. I feel like this is one where he could win. It won't damage Seth at all. This could go a good 25 minutes, I think. Next, we have Sheamus versus Damian Priest for the United States Championship. Sheamus has been doing this whole open challenge, but not for the US title. A lot of times it's just been Humberto Carrillo and Ricochet. Finally, that's over with. Humberto did accidentally break his nose, so Sheamus now has his mask. Sort of similar to Cody Rhodes back in 2011. The whole face mask thing, and sometimes he's used that as a weapon to help him win. Damian Priest then in a match against him a few weeks ago and actually won, so it sort of granted him a title match. It's this new thing that WWE are doing where they have championship contender matches, where it's like, if someone beats the champion, then they're sort of considered for a title shot. I don't mind that story if it's used sparingly. You gotta keep the champion strong, but if every few months or so someone beat the champion, then they can go, well, because they beat you, then at this pay-per-view they get to face you for the title. Because then it's sort of the challenger can say, well, I beat you once and I'll beat you again, and then the champion can be like, well, I'll win when it matters, i.e. when the title's on the line. And this sort of feels like it can be a case of that. They've had this whole Miz and Morrison thing going on with Priest. Damian's hit the bro kick on both of them. So it's hinted to Sheamus that's basically what's going to happen to Sheamus come SummerSlam. I've got Damian Priest to win. I feel like Sheamus has had an alright run with the US title. I feel like if there's going to be a title change, it's going to be Damian Priest for the US title. I feel like he needs that, because if he doesn't win, where does he go from there? He hasn't got Bad Bunny anymore, so, like I said, I've got Damian Priest to win the US title. Maybe Miz can then challenge him for it afterwards. Next match, Drew McIntyre versus Jinder Mahal. Singles match. Veer and Shanky are banned from ringside. Drew McIntyre gets to keep his sword, which I think is called Angela. It's some weird story that it was his mother's name or something. And, it's a way of remembering her or something like that. It's a really dumb prop that they decided to bring in. I liked it when it was just for the entrance. So, he stabs it into the floor, giant fire, and now they've made it this separate thing. So, not similar to Moppy, but you know what I mean. Whereas, it's this inanimate object that now seems important for some reason. It's had a really bad build-up. Drew's going to win. It's nice that it's something for him to do. Jinder's got a reason for it. It's sort of do you remember 2 years ago when you went off to yourself? You didn't even care about me. You didn't even text me. You didn't even see how I was doing when I was out of the company and you'd come back. And basically just stuff like that. It's you never messaged me during my injuries, and all this other stuff. So it's a nice thing for Jinder, I think. There's some not like realism, but you know what I mean. Like there's a legitimate reason why they're having this feud, rather than Drew going, you broke my sword, that wasn't my sword. But I've got Drew to win. Next, Eva Marie versus Alexa Bliss in a singles match. Alexa to win. Eva really can't wrestle. Yeah, that's pretty much been the story for ages. She's doing this whole motivational character with Doudrop. Lily has been, like, has hypnotized Doudrop or something recently. You know, freaked her out. So I feel like Lily's going to get involved. It's going to stop Doudrop. And then Eva Marie's going to be like, what? What's going on? Blah, blah, blah. And then Alexa's going to hit her with her sister Abigail. Or whatever it's called, like the modified version of it. This is the match I'm least looking forward to. The whole Lily thing is weird. And her against, like, Alexa Bliss versus Eva Marie is like a matchup I don't think I ever wanted. Like not like a I never knew I wanted it. This is literally like a I never wanted it. And yeah, for some reason I'm going through with it. Alexa Bliss to win. And then finally, AJ and Omos versus RK Bro, Randy Orton and Riddle for the Raw Tag Team titles. Story to this one. Randy Orton's recently come back a couple of weeks ago after being away for a bit. Riddle's sort of been doing alright for himself, but kind of been outnumbered by AJ and Omos. Randy then RKO'd Riddle, and then it was sort of like, oh, I guess they're not getting back together. And then Riddle sort of been like, look, I get what you did last week. I wasn't using the RKO properly, I wasn't focusing, but I feel like we can make this work. The people want it. And then, like, they have singles matches, and then by the end of the night they reunite, and they've got a match at SummerSlam. It was sort of like, I think when RK Bro started, that's sort of what everyone wanted, was this match at SummerSlam. We're getting it. I've actually got RK Bro to win. Again, like AJ and Omos, it's been good with their title reign for the good few months, but it would be nice to see RK Bro have it. The only issue you've got is there's not really any other Raw tag teams. You've got Mustafa Ali and Mansoor developing as a team. T-Bar and Mace, I guess, could get some random title shot. You've got the Viking Raiders. But yeah, I got RK Bro to win. Maybe lead to RK Bro versus the Usos at Survivor Series. But that is pretty much all my predictions for SummerSlam. I'll go over them again. Nikki ASH, Roman Reigns, Bobby Lashley, Usos, Bianca Belair, Edge, Damian Priest, Drew McIntyre, Alexa Bliss, and RK Bro. That's pretty much my predictions for SummerSlam 2021. Let me know what you think, and I'll hopefully see you in the next one.